So our next topic is internal order. Internal order is one of the controlling component to deal with the overhead management. So basically it is used to know the cost of a specific job. So this component is used by many of the manufacturing industries. It is the favorite one, and even other industries are also using this component to know the cost of a job or a task or a project, especially in make to order industries. Make to order industries, this component is very useful. I can give you the example. For example, you have a birthday party in the office. Now, to celebrate that birthday, the company is the company department is spending money on that. Yeah, so you cannot merge the cost of the birthday party with other costs, like the cost related to the production. So in order to trace a cost, first you raise the internal order. You raise the internal order birthday party, and then you later on settle it into the cost center, but you can track that cost any time through the, because you are posted through the internal order. Similarly, fair trade, trade fair, yeah, you know trade fair is like a special products, yeah, and that can be uh, done by the internal order. Also, if your employees are flying abroad for the business point of view, yeah, or through the company to deal with other companies or for the internal companies matters, so the expenses are raised for hotel, air ticket, traveling. So all these costs should be posted into the system through internal order. So internal order will be created. So it is used to monitor the cost of a specific job. That is a very simple definition. Yeah, the internal order is used to monitor the cost of a specific job or event. So that is the reason that we use internal orders. Yeah. So there are four types of internal orders. The first is overhead orders, second is profitability orders, third is investment orders, and the fourth is production orders. It doesn't necessarily mean that all these orders are the should be created by the CO consultant, because production orders, investment orders are related to other modules. Production orders are created in the PP module, production planning module. The investment order is created in the investment management module by IM consultant. Yeah. Profitability orders are created in the profitability analysis. Yeah. We will focus on the overhead orders, which is, and remember the screen of all the orders are different. Okay, so mainly we will focus on the overhead orders to monitor the cost of a specific job. This other example for internal order is if the company gives you the car, yeah, you are driving that car, and as a result, uh, you the petrol is free. Yeah. So all these costs which will be raised from that car, which are given to you, which is given to you by the company, the costs will be posted through internal order. Okay. So that is the example. Yeah.
Because I'm just
Okay.
trying to.
Also, if you wanna see the standard examples of internal orders, yeah, so I can show
Yeah,
you.
okay. Yeah, maybe it helps.
If you go to controlling
Mm-hmm.
and go to internal orders, master data, order group, no, sorry, special functions, order, display. Click this button and choose the controlling area 0001.
Mm-hmm.
Enter, and you will have the
Example.
list of the internal orders. Yeah. Okay, that is, the description is not very clear.
Mm.
You can try again. Okay, marketing campaign. Yeah.
Mm.
Magazines, motorcycle, cost for new pieces, exhibition, new air condition.
So it is belongs to a specific assignment, you would say.
Exactly, that's right. Imputed cost, repair test machine. Yeah. Because this is used for monitoring. Even you cannot, because internal order usage is optional. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
It's optional. If you don't want to use it, do not. But it is good. It is giving you the option to monitor the cost.
Right, because when I'm working, how it is to be done, like in terms of like if you have to go for away for meeting, for instance, we were to meet a client because we're a satellite company. We had lots of deal with external people, so all the costs when you travel, obviously they go into a part. You charge them into a particular cost center, but it was dealt in the travel management module.
Well, that is different, yeah. Because I mean, if the company is not using travel management, yeah, you can again do it through internal orders.
Oh, okay, okay,
Okay.
understand.
So internal order is very helpful because you wanna post the cost, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do it through FI as well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you can use internal order to track that cost.
Sorry, I'm thinking we're in FI, we're in still in management accounting, isn't it?
Yeah,
All right,
we are in
okay.
management accounting. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so you are thinking internal is really FI? No,
Yeah.
it's the part of CO. Yeah. Okay, we are still in CO.
Uh,
Okay, so these are the standard, or some of the other people have created the internal orders which you can see at this level. Yeah, even you can see the examples of cost centers, profit centers. Yeah, by searching them through the company, through the standard company codes. Yeah, like 1000 0001. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
so you can have the examples which SAP has delivered to you in
Mm-hmm.
order to make your concept much clearer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now, as I mentioned, that we our focus will be on the
Overhead.
overhead orders. Yeah. Now overhead orders are of two types: real internal order and statistical internal order. Real internal order is used when the objects, true objects, can allocate their cost to other CO objects. Yeah. For example, you want to settle a cost in the end of the month to other cost objects like cost center, work breakdown structures. Okay, that is called true objects. Statistical internal order is only used for informational purposes. It these are not true objects, these are statistical objects, and they cannot reallocate their cost and to the cost center and other cost objects like work breakdown structure, but can only bear their cost for informational purposes. They are not settled. Okay. So that is the theory behind the internal order. So now I will proceed uh, the configuration. Yeah, also I can give you the example that you can see the reports later on for real and statistical internal order, and the examples can be where we use internal orders. For example, conferences, faculty level, speaking engagement, orientations, graduation expenses, it's like specific event or job. I will go into the system, SPRO and SAP reference IMG. Controlling internal orders, click on order master data. First of all, you have to check whether internal order is activated in the controlling area or not. So you can execute this function.
What about the requirements?
Nothing. Okay, Z01 and or DUK. Click this button and go to activate components.
We did that already.
So internal order is activated. Yeah, order management component active. Yeah. Okay, it is just a documentation. Yeah, requirements. Yeah, so you can just open the requirements and so it will just give you the guide. Yeah, order master data. You have to define first order types. Execute, and through these order types you can create internal order master data. So you have different order types: internal order, design, settlement, capital investment, investment. So let's take the example of internal order production, or and remember, internal orders are created at client level. Okay, order type is as I mentioned, internal order is created under an order type. An order type is used for storing various control parameters and various defaults while creating an internal order, which I will show you in the next screen. Okay, if you click on new entries, order category, it will ask you the order category, which order category you would like to choose. So there are different order categories. Now one thing, if you go back, so did you notice that when we created cost element, it had a category, yeah, cost element category. When we created secondary cost element, it had a category, like it is assessment. When we created cost center, it had also got a category, like which category, production, sales, yeah.
Yeah.
So every master data so far we have seen, yeah, with the exception of profit center, has got the category. Now internal order has also got the category, and there are several categories: internal order, accrual calculation order, model order, CO production order, product cost calculator, PP production order, network, maintenance order, process order, inspection order, personal order, and shipping deadlines. All these orders are related to different modules. Okay, so we will click this one, internal order controlling 01. Yeah, click 01 and then continue. Now, as I mentioned, that internal order type is used for storing various control parameters. Yeah, so these are the control parameters which you can see on your screen. Now, here, if you have a look, yeah, you will have four types of profile on your screen, and these profiles, you can say, the master data or customization. Now these profiles is, the first one you can see on your screen is the settlement profile. The second one is planning profile. The third is execution profile, and the fourth is budget profile. SAP has already delivered you the standard profiles, but you can create your own as well. Okay, and it has got much depth, because whatever profile you will create, you can expand this concept of internal order. So now I will go into the and give the name of the order type. Let's say Z A use 1, yeah, and I will give the name. Let's say my I'm gonna calculate the administration travel expenses. Okay, so let's say I'm gonna say administration or manager travel expenses, yeah, manage
Manager.
one, yeah, it's administration.
Yes.
Let's say administration travel expenses. The second one, as you can see here, number range interval not assigned. So if you click this button, yes, so you will be on this screen. Now here you have to choose the number range. If you go down, so the one we created is ZAU1, yeah, administration travel expense, and it is not allocated to any number range. So you can create your, if you want to create your own number range, so you can click on this group, insert, no, in maintain, yeah, interval maintain, text. So I will try to choose my own number range. Yeah, if it doesn't exist, so let's choose administration travel expenses from number. Let's choose, I will choose it 90,000 to 9999. Okay, number range already taken by someone else. Yeah, I will try to choose the existing number range. uh,
Group without text, you can choose that.
okay, let's choose this one. Yeah, group without text, you mean this one? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, its number range is 65,000 to 65999. Yeah, so I will assign my order type ZAU1, select, click group without text and assign element group, so it will be under that. Yeah, save it, go back, and now you can see here 65,000 to 65999. You can choose the settlement profile. As I mentioned, SAP has already delivered you settlement profile, and you can choose here all receivers, internal order. So let's choose all receivers, because settlement profile means all receiver means who are the receivers?
The vendor. Oh, the receivers, the cost center.
Cost centers.
Sorry.
Yeah, because when you settle it, yeah, when you settle the internal order, where the cost will go, cost center or work breakdown structures. Yeah, so those are the receivers. Yeah, so that's when the settlement profile, we are choosing the standard profile which SAP has delivered us, which says all receivers. Yeah, okay. Next is model order. Now model order works like a template. You can create your own model order as well if you are interested. Yeah, so we will create our own model order next step. Yeah, of later on, after that, CO partner update, it is semi active, you can activate it, and also from here you can tick the option if one of them is your purpose, if it is a revenue posting, if it is an integration, commitment management or classification. Otherwise leave it as it is. Yeah, second is archiving. Yeah, when we will, sorry, archiving. Yeah, when we will archive the internal order, so you can give the residence time like month means like 6 months. Yeah, and 2 is 12 months. So this is the archiving time. Yeah, status profile here, sorry, you have seen the fifth profile. Yeah, settlement profile, planning profile, execution profile, budget profile, and that's the third profile, which is status profile. And you can choose here status profile. Let's choose internal orders, which is already created. Yeah, now here field selection, click this button. Yes, and now field selection will have the same concept which is behind field status variant. Yeah, hide display required entry. Yeah, and accordingly you can choose whatever you want. Yeah, go to next page, and right now all the options, all the fields are input, like optional entries. order layout, you can choose the one layout for repair orders. The thing which will happen is that order layout is another type of field status. Yeah, so you have to check if you choose this order layout, this will affect your screen because layout for repair orders. Yeah, so somebody else has already created this layout. So if you don't select it, so the current field selection which I showed you, that will be the screen layout when you create the internal order. Okay, so basically this is like a customization of internal order. Yeah, so after this click on save, go back and I will show you the next options. For example, we have already maintained number ranges and the status management. You can create status profiles in this screen. Yeah, screen layout, here you can define order layouts. As I mentioned, right now only one layout exists. Yeah, so if you execute this option layout, yeah, highlight this, and these are the tab page 1 tab. If you click this button and go to position group boxes, so these are the status tab page 1. So you have even created your own pages. Like on page 1, what should be the fields? Status, assignment, control, data, period and closing. Yeah, in tab 1. Similarly on tab 2, tab page 2, if you execute English language and click on position group box, so these are the boxes or fields will be in tab page 2. So you can create your own pages in the internal order. So this, if the standard layout is not fulfilling the requirement of the client, then you can create your own order layout. Yeah, so we are not gonna use this option, we will be using the standard one. The next is define model orders. You can define model orders, create CO model order, and these are the $2 which is the standard one. Yeah, if you click on that, and you can see only one internal order exists for category 3. Yeah, click on master data.
Actually, yeah. So you finish at 4. What time you finish?
So we will give the model order name. Yeah, so let's say model order, you can choose uh, administration administration cost, because this model order will be used to create many internal orders. Yeah? Assignments, company code AU01. Business area, if you want to be very specific in the business area, you can choose the 1. Let's say AU02 is our wheels. Yeah, so we will choose a,
The one which we create.
okay, yeah, business area we will create for choose for administration business area, or let's leave it blank.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's plant, yeah, we can choose the plant as well, because logistics consultants can also use the internal orders.
Administration.
We don't need plant. Yeah, plant is the, you know,
Operation.
structural element, organizational unit in MM module. Profit center, we can assign profit center. Now the question which is asked in the certification exam, yeah, you you settle a internal order into the cost center, which is which has assigned into a different profit center. while your internal order is having a different profit center. So whether the system will give the error or not. What do you think?
It should give an error.
Yes, it will give the error. Yeah. So that is the question which is asked in the certification now, because there is a discrepancy between the profit center. Yeah. So it's better to leave it blank if you are using the profit center assignment with the cost center. Yeah. So
Because if you haven't used the business area, you can't actually use the profit center, can you?
no, it's not like that, because business area
It's
is
not meant to
is extracted from the cost center, because cost center is also assigned with the business area. So choose the responsible cost center if you want. Yeah, otherwise leave it blank. Yeah. Okay, now click on control data. Okay, we have to choose the number. Yeah. Okay, we have to check the number. What is the range of the number? So the model order, if you select it, maintain. So this is using X, dollar sign. Yeah. So I will go back and choose here first dollar sign. Yeah, and then I will try to choose admin and then see whether it is working. So it is working. Yeah. So basically it is a external number assignment for model orders. Currency will be GBP or euro. GBP. Yeah. Because the costs are incurred in the within the UK. Yeah. So if it is a statistical order, so you can see the switch. That is, you tick this option, and when you create the internal order master data through this model order, so automatically the statistical order will be created. But if you leave it blank, then the real order will be created. Okay, so that is the switch.
So what about if you want to have both of them?
Hmm?
If you
So you can create the second model order.
you create a second. Okay.
Yeah, as much as you want.
Right.
It's like a template. Yeah.
Okay.
Click on period and closing, and this part need to be the first part, period and closing, need to be filled by the product costing. Okay. The second part is needs to be filled by the CO person, because it is saying settlement to one receiver. Now this administration cost, you must have a cost element. Yeah. Cost center as NGL account. Yeah. So as you can see, both of three, all of them are here. Yeah. So what I will do, I will go into the first GL account. Do you think we have administration cost, travel expenses, or any GL account? Yeah. We don't have it. Yeah. So at this stage I will go and create the GL account. Yeah, FS00. So let's choose 5225, create with the template of 50 to 10. administration travel expenses.
And just travel.
Hmm?
Just travel expenses because in internal control we are.
Okay, yeah. So let's say travel expenses. Travel expenses. So now you have to create cost element. Click this button, yes, and click on master data, and cost element category will be 1. Yeah, and then save. So now you have to create cost center. The transaction code is KS01 cost center, and I'm not creating this cost center within the standard hierarchy. Yeah, I'm gonna create it into the individual cost center. Yeah, 1 AU01, and it was administration. Yeah,
No,
A
travel expense.
A under group administration. Yeah, and then travel expenses TE01.
Okay.
Yeah, enter. But for this one, before I create the cost center, we need profit center as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
and to create the profit center, do you remember the transaction code?
Uh,
It was KE51. Yeah, KE51 PAU01, A travel expenses TE01, enter, and we need segment as well. Profit center group, which we have already created, administration. Okay, let's say operations. Yeah, we don't have.
Can you not create administration?
Yeah, we can
Okay,
create
we
it.
put it in
Yeah.
operation.
Okay, so I will create a administration KCH5N, and create profit center group lower level. Okay, close it and go back and choose profit center group. Okay, so it hasn't appeared yet, so let's take it administration. It is
Yeah.
picked up here.
Mhm.
So now click on segment. Okay, we have got administration one. Yeah, and click on activate. Yeah, so profit center has been created. Yeah, so now the same profit center needs to be assigned into the profit cost center. So choose the profit center, and it will be travel expenses. Cost center category will be administration, that will be 4. Hierarchy area administration. Yeah, business company code AU01, and business area is required. Yeah, so you must have a business area administration. So let's have a look if we have got one business area for administration. If we don't have, then
We only assign segment in profit center but not in cost center.
Yeah, of course.
But we have a hierarchy in cost center as well.
Hmm?
We have a hierarchy in the cost center as well.
Yeah,
So we have segment
yeah. So
in cost center.
segment is not a segment. If we assign segment with the profit center, not the cost center.
But we have hierarchy in both, no?
No, that's not the logic. We have hierarchy even in internal order, even in cost element. Yeah, but segment is assigned to the profit center because the fields are different. So because business area is not assigned into profit center, so you can ask the second question, why business area is not. So that's the logic. Yeah,
Okay.
so uh, which you have just to understand.
Because they're both cross company, the cost center and the profit center.
Okay, the business area is
Client level.
admin expenses.
We use
Expenses, yeah. Okay, you want yeah. Okay, let's say AU05
6.
5, yeah.
5 we created for the revenue.
Okay, let's have a look. No, it was 4, yeah. So save it. So we have created this business area and assign it into the consolidation business area which we are using. Save. Okay, and then save it, yeah. So everything has been created. So I will go back into the internal order. So I can choose settlement to one receiver, and what happened then, I will create the internal order master data, so automatically this will be picked up by the system. Yeah, or secondly, I can create the settlement rule. If I click this button, so this will be a settlement profile, allocation structure, PA transfer structure. So this will be in more detail. Yeah, so this will be settlement rule. Settlement profile, if you click on this, so this will be all receivers. Yeah, go back, and here you can choose the category. Category is cost center, and choose the cost center, which is the settlement receiver. So if you give this at this point, so you don't have to give it, yeah, later on, because system will pick up automatically. So choose here travel expenses, and you can choose here 100%, because 100% will be allocation, because if you are using two different cost center, then it will be 50-50. Yeah,
So at this stage we can
it's like a
distribute it.
default. You can make this cost center default as a settlement receiver.
Okay.
If you will not do this step, then you have to, when you will be in the period end closing, when you will be settling the internal order, then it will ask you which is the cost center where you can settle the cost. Yeah, but if you will give it here, it will save your time. Yeah, and it's like a pre-configuration, like a pre-configured settings. Yeah, so now you see this field has been disappeared because you have defined the settlement rule. Yeah, So this is the part of period end closing, because internal order is settled in the period end closing. Now click on general data, and here you can give the information of the person, like applicant, telephone, person responsible, who is dealing with the internal order. And this option is for the investment order. So now remember, that is the name of our model order. Yeah, I will just mention it here as well. Order type we created ZA01, yeah, and this one was for administration travel expenses. And model order we created dollar admin, yeah, travel expenses. So model order will have the settlement information, because order type does not have the settlement information. Order type has got the settlement profile option, but under the profile you have to define who will be the receiver. Yeah, so now I will go back into the system, yeah, and then save this model order, administration cost. Save it, and the model order has been created. Again, I will go back to the order types. Click on the order type, and the order type we created ZA01. I will open this one again and assign my model order here. Okay, dollar ADMN. So what will happen now? The settlement information, like who is the cost center, which cost center is the settlement receiver, will be picked up from the model order. Save. Okay, so data was saved. I will go back. Further, we can create planning profile from this screen and maintain settlement. We can create budget profile, yeah, we can create commitments and funds management. We can actual postings, and in actual postings we have settlement, yeah, which is the last step. In under settlement we have to maintain settlement cost elements, yeah, and allocation structures, source structure, PA transfer structure. PA transfer structure is used in profitability analysis, yeah. Settlement profiles and number ranges for settlement documents, and automatic generation of settlement rules. So now I will go back into the end user screen and try to create internal order with the standard settings, yeah, which we have done. So click on accounting, controlling, internal orders, master data, and we can do planning as well, yeah. So special functions, order, create, transaction code is KO01. Order type, click this button and choose the order type which you have created, which is ZAU1. That is order type. Click on the master data, and you will be on this screen. We have an object class where which order is that? It is an investment order, overhead, profitability analysis, or production order. Yeah. So in the object class you have to choose the one. So we are working with the overhead. Yeah. So this will be overhead. Click on control data and okay, business area is required, so I will give the one which we created, AU04.
It was not A05.
Okay, yes, it was AU05. Yeah, administration expenses and control data. Now you have three types of statuses. You have three types of statuses. One is released. Yeah, if the status is released, what we'll do, settle the internal order into the cost object, for example cost center or work breakdown structure. Technically completed, if the status is technically completed, it means posted once into the internal order. Closed mean cannot post and settle into the internal order. If you don't want to settle this and you don't want to use it, yeah, once you have used it, so you want to close it, yeah, so you can change the status. So this is the button. Right now it is release. If you tick this button again, so the status will be changed, technically completed, when the order has been released. If you click this button again, so this is close. Yeah, so I'm keeping it as release. Yeah, so that's the status I'm keeping. Yeah, so you haven't used the statistical order in the model order type. Yeah, so that's why you can't use it now. This is the field is only for display. Period and closing. In the period and closing you give the settlement rule, and settlement rule should be copied from the model order. If you click on settlement rule, so you see it is copied, but the rest of the information is the same, general data and the investment. Now click on save. Okay, no profit center entered. Yeah, so let's give the profit center, change, and we have created a profit center, that is no issue. Otherwise profit center can be picked up by the cost center as well. So let's say travel expenses and then save it. This is the question in the certification exam asked, which master data we assign the profit center directly. So there are 6-7 options. Yeah, so 3 options you have to choose. Profit center are directly assigned into the internal order master data, cost center master data, and material master data, which you cannot see as a, because material master data is created in module. Okay, so 3 master data. This is a question in CO certification. Yeah, so now your audit number is 65001. So you have created real internal order whose number is 65001. Now you can go and post the expenses. Now you're ready. Yeah, so go to FB60. Your vendor is let's say your vendor is one time. Yeah, O200 16, calculate tax, and GL account is 5225. Yeah, and travel expenses is 20,000. Enter. Give the name of the invoice. Yeah, let's say uh, British Airways, city London. Okay, tax code. Give the tax code V9. Give the internal order 65. Okay, let me check this error. So we have fixed the error by changing the status of the internal order, and now it is technically complete order technically. Yeah.
What
So
does it mean?
it means that as I mentioned to you, that post it once into the internal order, because you haven't posted into the internal order yet. Yeah, so you are gonna post it now. So it means release means when to settle the internal order into the cost object, yeah, like cost center. But internal order is empty, there is no value or amount, so you have to post it first. So in order to post into order to post into internal order, the status should be technically completed. So go back and then go back, simulate, simulate, and then post. Okay, one thing you will notice, you don't have cost center, you have profit center. Yeah, simulate and then post. So the document is posted, and now this, you go back into the internal order, go to the information system, reports for internal orders, plan or actual comparisons, and double click on that. Execute. So the travel expenses is 26,000. Yeah, so now the next step is to settle the internal order into the cost center as a month end closing. Okay, we will do it after the break. Yeah. So now I'm going to settle this amount into the cost center, and that is the part of month end closing.
Anna, could you change the layout?
Hmm?
Yeah, the screen get small.
Okay, so all right. Yeah. Okay, sorry for the phone call. So I will now settle this cost of internal order into the cost center. Yeah. I will go through the new screen. SPRO. internal orders, SAP EasyXX screen, internal orders, period and closing, single functions, settlement, and transaction code is KO88. Settlement KO88. Actual settlement, yeah, that's the order number. Settlement period 8, fiscal year 2014, processing time automatic, and this is the test run. You can check the settlement rule. If you haven't given the settlement rule, so probably you have to give at this stage. But if you haven't given the settlement, that is fine. So run first as a test, execute. Okay, so it is giving us the message maintain sources for allocation structure in controlling area, yeah? So we will go and see the allocation structure into customization, yeah? Okay, I'm already in the IMG screen, and as you can see that actual posting, settlement, and we have maintain allocation structures. Execute, and it is giving us the error, as if you can see here. If we execute it once again, so it is giving us the message maintain sources for allocation structure A1, yeah? A1 CU allocation structure. If we go to assignments, so this is the assignment for under A1. Raw material cost, tax set cost, external procurement, personal cost, other primary cost, activity allocation, overhead. Your concern is with the overhead, yeah? So select this, go to double click on source. Here you have to choose the from cost element to cost element, yeah? So from cost element, travel expenses, yeah? 5225, yeah? You can from cost element to cost element, it's like a range, yeah? So let's say 5225, and click on assessment cost element, and assessment cost element we haven't created because we are not assessing, yeah? So click on settlement cost elements, and here you will choose the receiver category by cost element. So we don't have to select because we are settling it into the cost center, yeah? We just have to assign the source. Assign the source is cost element, yeah? And then save it. If the problem is resolved, that is fine. Otherwise we will create our own allocation structures. Now this allocation structure, how the system is picking up this allocation structure, this allocation structure is assigned with the settlement profile. Execute it and enter maintain settlement profiles. We are using all receivers, yeah? Go to the details of all receivers, and can you see this allocation structure A1, yeah? So this is the question asked in the certification exam as well, that where we assign allocation structure, there are 2-3 options, yeah? So this is assigned into the settlement profile. There are 3-4 options, like they will tell you it is assigned into the settlement it is assigned into the status profile, budget profile, planning profile, execution profile, yeah, model order. So where it is assigned, or order type, yeah. So basically it is assigned into the allocation structure, into the settlement profile, and settlement profile is assigned into the order type. Okay, so that's the chain, yeah. Yeah. After this, document type is SA, yeah. Save it. And cost center settlement optional, yeah. So you just have a look that cost center should be optional, yeah, to be settled in full. Now go back and then try to settle it again. If the error persists, then we will create our own allocation structure and then assign it into the settlement profile, yeah. Again test run. You can go back and then come back again, because sometimes system takes time. Execute. Now this is another error. Define a settlement cost element for receiver type cost center, yeah.
So same 5 to 2 by.
Yeah, settlement cost element. Now if you want to keep the same cost element 5225, so assign the same. Let's say, let's have a look. Go back and then maintain allocation structures. Or you have the maintain settlement cost elements as well, yeah. Okay, A1, and go to settlement cost element. Click assignments, overhead, settlement cost element. Click on new entries. Receiver category will be CTR. CTR is cost center. Settlement cost element 5225. Alright, so settlement cost element should be secondary cost element with the category 21. Okay, so now that's the prerequisite. Go back and first create the settlement cost elements. Execute. You can create primary settlement cost element or secondary cost element, yeah. First go to primary cost element and click on master data. It is already assigned, so we cannot create primary cost element. Create secondary cost element and give it number 52250, yeah, so that we acknowledge this. And so internal settlement, yeah. So 21, the category 21 belongs to secondary cost element. So internal settlement, and you can choose here settlement cost element, because you are doing this now internally. You're doing a posting within CO. It is nothing to do with FI. So this is the internal settlement, yeah, within CO module. That's why you are using secondary cost element as a settlement cost element. Save. Go back to the allocation, maintain allocation structure. A1, click on assignments, overhead, and click on settlement cost elements, click new entries. This is CTR, and the settlement cost element is 5250. Now it is working, and then save it. Go back and then settle it again. Execute. Now number range is missing for settlement documents. Yeah, so now you have to define the number range for settlement documents. Go back and maintain number ranges for settlement documents. Execute. Click on intervals, click on groups,
Oh, we got Z01. That's the one.
Yeah.
ZA01. Yeah,
Yeah.
select it,
Because you say not assigned.
yeah, and then tick this button and then assign element group. So this is the assignment done, and then save it. So now go back and then execute. So finally it is working. Yeah, so that's the test run. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the test run, and I have already got this internal order open. At the same time, I will open the cost center report as well. Accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, information system. Execute. And right now you cannot see the travel expenses cost center, yeah, because we haven't posted any information. So let's go and then run this as a production. Uncheck test run and then execute. So this is the update run. Go and have a look first into the internal order reports. Exit the report. Execute. Okay, it is taking time. So you can see settlement cost element, and now if you go to the cost center reports, execute.
See that previous screen it was
Execute.
10,000 now. Here, telephone cost.
Okay, now if you see this travel expenses, yeah, so actual cost is 26,000, which is settled. If you you can trace this amount through the settlement cost element, because the same settlement cost element in the internal order is credited, and it is debited in the cost center. Further, you can check the reports, actual line items, and that's how you can see 26,000. Click on the document, source document, that's the document number 57455. Yeah, click on the accounting documents, that's the profit center document and the controlling document. Yeah, and click on the sender. Sender is the cost element 5225. Yeah, so you can monitor the cost very easily, and click on the receiver. So receiver is the cost center, and click on detail. So in the detail you can see settlement document number or object number is 65001. Yeah, period settlement here, administration cost, sender is the internal order. So you can monitor the cost, so that you can come to know how cost center, you know, uh, the cost can be, how the cost can be monitored on this cost center, so you can see the source easily. If I don't use the internal order, I post it directly, you cannot know from which source this amount is posted. So that is the concept behind internal orders. So do you have any questions? So